All right. Good morning, everybody in YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, and all. Concrete's down. We have 12,000 pounds of thermal mass. The hoses are back here. They're not hooked up yet or put into a manifold. There's a little well back there. The flue is not even hooked up to the back of the stove or nothing yet. It's July. I was going to do this on the first, like normal, the first of the month, but I figured the 4th of July, I'd just let it slide and I'd do it then. And do I apologize for the floor? No. That thing is like a rubber-tired lawnmower. If you take it out in the mud, it's going to track the dirt in. And that's one time. It's just every time. So I kind of give up on it. The desert's like really dirty, so you can't really do much about that. And you would literally wear yourself out. If anybody wants to like volunteer for the job, hey, knock yourself out. Broom fits everybody's hand. But what I was going to say is this is a big improvement to what it was. This was all dirt for 10 years. And now it's concrete and it's the PEX tubing, so it's 12,000 pound thermal mass. And I'm kind of proud of it, is what I'm saying. And hopefully this year we can go with lithium batteries as well. And we'll see what we get from there. But let's go from here, and we're going to go outside and show you where we're at with the logs and all that. So 1 minute. All right, and we made it outside. We've been getting quite a bit of moisture this year. The same thing that's been making y'all like really hot everywhere, and it just made us get a little bit more rain, which is kind of a nice thing, but it's not when it comes to the sacrifice to all y'all making. I hope that the ones that are in Texas and stuff like that, y'all surviving this. We got that Hurricane Barrel coming. I don't know. I'm seeing it hitting like down there by Brownsville and hitting pretty good. They're calling for like a tropical storm. I hope it stays that way. I just didn't see it hitting that Yucatan Peninsula as direct as it was, as it had prior. When they first modeled it, it looked like it was going to take a direct hit, and I figured it was going to stumble and fall apart. And now it don't look so much like that. Now it looks like it could regrow in the warm waters. Hopefully it doesn't, but is what is. There are a lot of people. I couldn't imagine going through a storm like that, y'all. Just telling you. Like some people say, how can you go through the extreme cold up here? I got stuff I can deal with that. I'm sure them people that got that too down there, so bless their heart. I just couldn't imagine it. This is how much wood I got cut up from last time. There's my pile from over here. We got our new critter cage. It's a live trap to catch the critters that get the chickens. So far, we've kind of made a low on the chicken killing, so it's good. I got this far last month in like one day. I did this much in one day. And then I got to this log, and I want to use this as a new gate post. And I want to bob it in half, and then on the like plane it off with the router, and inset the road number into the top of it. And how you spray paint it black and then sand it, and so it'll look raised out. Do something like that. But that's why I stopped here, and I was kind of lazy. I've been swimming like every day, 6 days a week, kind of thing. I'll probably cut that down now, but not. I enjoyed it, so did it while it was. This is like telephone size. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it's like telephone size pole. That was one of the reasons why I didn't just like jump out and do it. I got my rope out today. That's what the video was for. Is I'm going to measure it, cut it, mark it in half, and then cut it, and then try to get it out of the way so I can get at the rest of the pile. But I got these log board, the deck runners out of here and all that. I'll just cut new ones. We're at the halfway point of the pile too. That's the official halfway point where the old runners that were underneath are gone, and now we're that much left, and half a semi load. And this is the third year going on the fourth, year. So it's done pretty good. As far as dollar wise or whatever you want to call it, it does pretty good. Let me get turned around here. The glare on the camera, I can't help otherwise. It's pretty bright up here. Let's show you the mountain. It's looking good. I haven't seen the horses around. I did see some elk the other day, and a bunch of them the pronghorn dudes, they were down too. They're always around here, the pronghorn ones. But back to the pile is I'm going to bob the telephone pole looking one up, cut it in half and get it out of the way, and it'll be 2 gate posts for over on the county. And like I said, I'm going to surface it and then put my number, the road number on it. The plants are doing much better this year than normal. Normally if you're in the wind, if you're knee high at the 4th of July, you're doing pretty good. These tanks are 3.5 right there, 3.5 feet, 4 feet tall, and you can see the plants are easily that tall. And I got the volunteer. Let's go show you this guy. Hey, here's Simon. Come here, puss kitty. Come here, buddy. Where's you at? Come on, don't mess. I'm trying to look through the camera and I can't see you, Fuzzy. Yeah. Okay, that's enough stretching. Yeah, go on, shoot. Okay. And before we go much farther on the what am I working on the 4th of July, and because I really don't see it like a big celebration anymore, y'all. This last year has become like like this is my big 600-gallon tank, and that plant is bigger than it now. And that's the volunteer. Not a 1 ounce of water, nothing. Now it is 2 months older than anything else that's in there, but it's just a volunteer plant. And then the rest of them are catching up. Every time that you water them, it catches up to this one, probably 6 inches. Because this one doesn't really grow like fast. It just grows a little bit at a time is what I'm trying to get at. And because there's no extra water. And none of this stuff leaks or nothing like that, or otherwise it's desert, it wouldn't have water in it. So they just it doesn't get any water. So can cannabis grow in the desert without water? Yes, it can, but it has to have a footprint almost as big as it is. Like those are really tight grown together because it's all industrial hemp. I don't grow anything like with ratcheted up THC or CBD or nothing like that. Cannabis has 217 cannabinoids. You want them all. Your body can sort out the receptors in your body can pick and choose what you need. You don't want to like get one with 20% this or 5, nothing like that. Just get it with even balance and you'll do much better off. But like I said, that's this one here in the doorway. That's the volunteer. And the last volunteer I got was 5x5, and this one's at least that. It doesn't look like it now because it's not filled in, but there's no flower on it yet, is what I'm trying to get at. This is going to be a big, for a plant without water, that's a pretty big plant. I mean, for out in the desert. And the ground here would support it. We just need like Joe Biden, the president, to make it like a declaration. Y'all, if we don't get some form of, there used to be 4 trees back in the day. It was oak, poplar, conifers. Conifers is a big thing. And then cannabis. Cannabis isn't a succulent. It's not a garden weed. It's nothing. It's not a plant. It's a fast-growing hardwood. But all 4 of these they have a symbiotic relationship with with fungus, with mushroom fungus. And it's a symbiotic where it helps them both. And it takes the CO2 directly out of the air and puts it right down into the humic layer. And it puts carbon down there, the CO2. And but it's what allows our forest to grow. It allows our planet to breathe. Without these trees that have that symbiotic relationship, we're choking ourselves off. Is climate change human-made? 100%. Is it CO2 only? No, that's kind of foolish. It's not just CO2. We've made a desert out of a third of our planet with modern agriculture. We've destroyed it. We've destroyed the humic layer, where there's just nothing there anymore. It's just like a desert. We've wiped out 50% of the tree species around the planet. There's more plastic in the ocean than fish by weight. This is not sustainable. Whether you say we have 25 years or 100 years or 300 years, that's not relevant. Our species ends on this planet unless we change. And we're not smart enough to change. Humans, our species only compares itself with monkeys and apes, which are just marginally less cognitive than we are. We don't ever compare ourselves with like squid or dolphin or killer whale, which are significantly smarter than we are. That's the sad part. And to say that we can keep on doing this, that's not true. We can't. Unless we grow industrial cannabis like we really mean to live on this rock, we're not going to live as a species. We won't make it. Unless we can use cannabis in like the plastics that I've done and different things to make wood and different things, we won't survive here, y'all. This is not a maybe thing. The majority of humans have gotten compartmentalized educations where we, for what the tiny little bit that they are, they're like the smart people, okay? But when you ask them how to make electricity, how to do this, how to do that, they're not so smart. Because they're so smart in their one area, they can hire somebody. They can specialize. Well, in the reality of it, nobody can do that. I mean, yes, it's nice to have a civilization where it's possible, but the second that it crashes, then that is no longer possible. Is there going to be a handful of people that would know how to make electricity come back on? Copper or enamel-covered copper wire in a coil passing through a magnetic field, to transverse it. Yes, they would, but do the same people know how to put where the diodes would be to make it useful for civilization to make it alternating current? There's some complexity on that. And then once you find somebody that knows how to do it, how does he go about making the wire? I mean, does he know how to melt copper and cast it and then run it through a roller? At what point is it just not ever going to come back on, y'all? I mean, yes, we're going to have supplies and we're going to have this and that, but this is real. The religious tick since the 80s, and I mean religious lunatics. I don't give a shit what ism you are, okay? If you're an ism, you're a lunatic. You're a religious lunatic. I mean, if you can condone hurting somebody to promote your ism, then you're a fucking lunatic in my mind. I'm sorry. That's just who and what you are. You can call yourself Christian National. You can whatever ism that you want, except for Jainism in India. That's like the only peaceful one that I know of. But just like Trump coming back to power, is if it's not him, it's going to be another one of his fanatical isms, one of his another fanatical people. And is it going to come? Yeah. And they're after women. They're after women's rights. An M16 has more rights than half the population in America. And they're going after more. This can't happen. I got thrown off of X because I put on the thing March on DC. They said that was violent speech now. Okay? So you can take billionaires like Elon Musk. You can take all their crap in what they're saying and flush it because it's just shit. They're not out there for free speech. They want you to vote for some half brain dead deadbeat like Kennedy. Or they want you to vote for some truly degenerate like Trump. I mean, it's how debased are you? If you're completely debased, if you're complete degenerate, well, then Trump is your guy. If you're not a complete debased degenerate, then I guess it's Kennedy because he only cheated his ex-wife out of the money that she was owing him with the bullshit brainworm story. It's It's crazy, the people that we have, and the reason that we have people like this is people like Elon Musk and the other billionaires. These are the people that keep minimum wage at $7.75 an hour. These are the people that no matter how much you give to them, the greedy cunts can't stop taking. Because if you watch my channel, you know that everything I've done has been nonprofit. I encourage the fucking billionaires by not patenting everything. I go out of my way to try to appease the toddler in these people. But it's not. There is no appeasement. These are junkies. If somebody had a heroin addict, you wouldn't praise them. You'd go, wow, damn, dude, I hate it for you. If somebody was a meth addict, you'd go, Jesus, that fucked up your life. If they were an alcohol or any other, you would feel. But these are addicts. They're just addicted to money, and everybody praises that. These are your overlords and oppressors. These are the same people that don't want you to have health care, that still say that we have to put $1 trillion a year into our military. None of this is real. With 10% of 1 year's military, we've kicked the shit out of the Russians by just allowing the Ukrainians our stuff. And then you got lunatics like Marjorie Taylor Greene, that she is just that. She is a certifiable lunatic. There's so many of and they're back in our government again. And no, our government was not founded on the Christian religion. That's a goddamn lie. It was founded on no religion, period. We escaped that. We escaped a tyrannical, crazy, homosexual king that he rewrote a Bible. That's where it came from. It's crazy that we're going back to this. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't celebrate this time. And not because Biden's inflation. That's kind of stupid. Okay? When you see fascism and then you see inflation. Okay, inflation is not anything to even be considered. We're dealing with full-on fascism, full-on religious lunatics just like Hamas and Hezbollah. You don't think that Marjorie Taylor Greene and her bunch and Trump and his aren't just as lunatic-ish as the worst? You're wrong. They are. They're just as insane, and they can't even help themselves. That is who they are. All right, y'all. Well, this is where we're at, and this is what we've done, and I can't go on anymore because it's not that I'm mad or anything. I'm just like you want to throw up a little bit, like from the guts, and you can't do it no more. My everything. I mean, I got out of the military. I got married. I did everything that you normally do. You have kids until you see who they are. And then you go, wow, you're just another crazy bitch on the planet Earth. You know, I mean, you're no different. And then you go to like, when I got paralyzed or when my legs finally dropped out from underneath me, because my ex-wife, she saw it every day. You know what I mean? Did she help me? No. More than likely the opposite way. I mean, that's what I'm trying to get at, is she is a sociopath, and there's no way around that. Whatever you want to call it, there's other words that you use. Because she would always throw big words around, and when you really looked it up, it was like, that is the definition of who you are. You know, I mean, there was a lot of the words I didn't even understand what they were. But it really was the definition of who this woman was until I met the chief of staff at the VA in Denver. That was a true sociopath. And I don't mean that in any way lightly. For a $5 test, she deliberately paralyzed me for life. And how can you justify that? You can't. And the irony of it was, this is like 2000, going into 2015. She had one of the morons' hats on, the MAGA hat. And it was like, Wow, does that not fit? I mean, looking back at it, these people are truly insane. And can they help themselves? No, that's just who they are. They're insane. They're a lunatic. They can't change. So, all right, y'all, enjoy your day. Sorry about the rant. Kind of proud about the rant. However you want to look at it, it's all good. It's your take next. Enjoy your day and go do it. Bye.